single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hey guys, Monique Christine here, and welcome back to my Intro to Yin, the Asanas series. In this series, I'm just going to break down the individual Yin yoga postures for you so that you guys have a nice strong foundation should you choose to create your own flows, or if you want to flow along with me. So in this video, we're going to be talking about ankle stretch. This stretch really opens and strengthens the ankles, as you would probably garner from the name, right? It also helps, it's a really, really strong stimulation for 4 meridians that we have running through the feet and ankles. And it's a wonderful counterpose for after you've done some squats or some toe stretches. But before we get into this pose, there are a couple of notes of caution. If you feel any sort of sharp pain in your ankles, back off from the pose. You can put a blanket under the feet, like so. Okay. And that gives you a really nice cushion. I normally don't do it with a pillow or a towel. You could use a pillow, a towel, a blanket, whatever you have. I just happen to have my handy dandy Mexican yoga blanket. So yeah, that will help you with your ankles. This pose can kind of bother your knees, so you can try and rolling. You can try rolling a towel. This is just a hand towel. And you're going to stick it behind those knees. And if you have a thicker towel, then obviously it'll... that's nice too. It will be thicker, and then you could always, if you want, you could always double it, whatever you need to do. And this helps create space in the knee joints. That's actually not very comfortable right there. Let me get that in the joint. There we go. For me, that's too much. So I'll stick with one roll, but that does feel good. But ultimately, you may need to put a cushion, towel, blanket, pillow between the calves and the thighs. That's not bad. Okay. But, again, sharp pain is a no-go. We want our yoga to be uncomfortable but never painful, right? Let's see. Is there anything else I want to tell you guys about this pose? Oh, yes. So this is a yin yoga pose, and normally with yin yoga postures, we're going to hold them anywhere from 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 minutes to, 75 minutes, depending on what you're doing with your day. But because this pose is relatively intense, we're only going to hold it for a minute. And if you are not able to hold it for a minute straight when you first start playing around with this pose, do not judge yourself at all. Work up to a minute. Okay? So let's do this thing. So the way to get into this pose, you're just going to start by sitting on your heels. Sit back on your heels, baby. That's it. There we go. So to begin, you want to take your lovely hands, put them behind you, and you're going to lean back, but you don't want to be leaning away from your knees. You want to bring the knees with you. Okay. Heart open. Okay. So we're up. And that was intense enough. And that's perfectly fine. Eventually you'll get there. You've got plenty of time to, you've, got the rest of your life to open up your ankle joints. So yeah, you can start that way, but you want to eventually work up to where you are able to lift. I think I'm going to have to put this under my ankles today. Look at me. Look at you guys invoking change in my world. Grateful for it. All right. Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay, so, yeah. Oh, that's really good. So we got it going on like this, but eventually you want to work up to where you're able to keep your hands on your knees and lift them back up. For me, for some reason, today is a tight day. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to. I'm just kidding. Oh my God. Yeah. One thing, your flexibility will change from day to day. So don't judge it. One side of your body will most probably always be more open than the other. And one day you could feel really open in all of your joints, and then the next day feel really tight. Maybe if you did a lot of walking. I did do a lot of walking yesterday. So that's probably why my ankles are feeling a little tight today. So I think I will play with this stretch throughout the day. And just hang out for as long as you can. And when your ankles start screaming at you, go ahead and listen to them. It's okay, I promise. Truth be told, this is probably my least favorite yin posture because it is intense for the ankles, but after I do the posture, my body is so, so, so grateful. See, like right now, I just unlocked some energy, some stagnant energy in my feet and my ankles, and now I can feel some tingling. I'm starting to feel like kind of like a little rush, a surge, slowly creeping up my legs. So yeah, ultimately we're trying to unblock the energy so that it's able to flow freely throughout our energy channels, all throughout the body, the various meridians, which will be discussed in another video. But yeah, and that's another reason why this stretch is very intense for me, because it does work 4 meridians at one time. And based on where you are and what you have going on in your life, that could trigger, different feelings for you. Like for me, my chest was getting a little tight. It's definitely bringing up some anxiety for me to be in this posture, mild, really, really mild anxiety, but yeah, like I feel like, if that makes any sense. So, I'm not gonna force myself to be in the posture any longer than I can handle. And I'm not gonna judge myself for it. And when you come out, you can kind of rest forward on your hands. Or you could come into, oh yeah. You could come into a squatting position. And that's just going to go ahead and work the joints in the opposite direction just to bring some balance. Yeah? Because at the end of the day, the name of the game is balance. And a little secret, my hands and my feet sweat, especially when well, my anxiety definitely triggers my hydrosis. And yeah, when you unlock that energy, don't be surprised like if your feet start sweating. It's a good thing. It means it's working, yeah? And you can stay in this squat for like a minute. I mean, longer if you want to, but I say a minute is long enough to suffice. And as with all other yin postures, you want to make sure that you take your time getting into and coming out of the posture. Come to your comfortable edge where it's uncomfortable but not painful. Think Goldilocks. Not too much, not too little, but just right. Don't judge your flexibility. Allow yourself to be where you are. Remember the breath. Breathe into those tight areas. And play around with the pose. Don't let I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have told you guys that it's my least favorite pose, but don't let me put my chow chow on you guys, because I know for a lot of people, like runners for instance, you probably really, really, really love this one. It probably feels really good. And dancers, and after a long day of running or dancing or both, yeah, it's gonna feel amazing. And your ankles will have probably a greater range of motion, if you do this pose after after a run or dancing or whatever. So yeah, you should be able, excuse me, to get deeper into the joint. But again, comfortable edge. Please, please, please don't hurt yourselves. Listen to your body. I promise it's always talking to you. All right? So with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. And please tell me how you like this pose. Do you love it? What does it bring up for you? And how do your ankles feel? How does it change your life? Try to notice these subtle, subtle, subtle energy shifts. Yeah? Thank you guys. I'll see you later. Namaste.